Hello, Gophers. Welcome to Go Podcast. My name is Morten.
And I'm Dominic St-Pierre. It's so funny when you're. I think you practice a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I try to work on my radio voice a little bit, also because I'm doing more streaming now. So trying to to make it sound better, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you using to stream? Is it like OBS directly with a Twitch account or something like that?
Yeah. And then I have a plugin so I can also, what's it called, cross stream, multi-stream to YouTube as well.
Is it Restream?
No. It's just I can't remember the name, but it's an OBS plugin, and then I can target multiple platforms, so I can stream to Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, probably also Kick if I'm if I ever get into sports betting or something.
I don't even know what it is.
I mean, it's the new thing, right? And it's
okay.
It's always. I think there was this whole thing with some of the Twitch streamers doing some shady stuff, and then Twitch cracked down on it, and then Kick came into the picture. Maybe I'm talking a little bit out of my ass here, but I think I've seen some highlights whenever I get sucked into the YouTube Shorts black hole and see they do a lot of gambling on Kick instead. I don't know, but it's maybe it's just to get people on and then have regular streamers. I think the Primogen is also starting to stream on Twitch. No, sorry, not on Twitch, on Kick as well. So maybe they're getting more mainstream as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's just nice to have the cross stream because YouTube just keeps the stream up, so you always have some content going out there. The only thing is you need to be very careful with the music you play. I was playing what was supposedly a royalty free playlist the other last week, and it got copyrighted.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then YouTube has these nice tools like remove the song, but it does it really, really badly. So I just have that section be black out completely, and it's just nothing for 3 minutes, and then I can continue. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that AI generated music? But I'm not there yet.
So basically, you have multiple sources in your OBS, and one of them is capturing your audio output directly, or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the main thing is still Twitch, and then it just gets rebroadcasted into YouTube, because you can do some tricks with Twitch where you fiddle a little bit with the audio output channel so that you can actually play copyrighted music, but it doesn't go in to the stream, or it doesn't get stored after, something like that.
Yeah.
So you just play copyright royalty-free music in the thing that gets recorded, and then in the actual stream you just play whatever you want, and then you can play copyright music. Yeah, loopholes all over.
It's funny because the RTMP protocol, I was looking into that at some point, because believe it or not, I was streaming in 2017 or something like that. There were this, and I don't even recall the name of the service, but it was I think it was meant for programming streaming. So I streamed the development of Roadmap, one of my SaaS back then, there a couple of times. It was really nice. But I got interested into Restream at some point, and I was like, how could it be that hard to have a Go server there that would be the RTMP endpoint and just rebroadcast the same signal that it's receiving? I was starting to I don't know, just starting to think in my head, and later, way later, I saw that they were looking at Go Engineer at Restream. So I was like, oh, okay, so they probably use that as well. So I mean, Go seems to be a very good language for these types of I don't know, proxy or something like that. I don't even know how to call that exactly precisely, but yeah, it seems to be a good platform, a good good language for that, for sure.
So you had the typical developer, I can do that in a weekend kind of
thing?
No.
I was just intrigued to. Sometimes I have this urge to just understand a little bit, just understand the basics of how these things is even working. So I was just first a little bit interested into what exactly is this protocol, because again, I was using Arch Linux back then, and I was streaming via FFmpeg directly. So nice. Crazy enough, FFmpeg is just able to do it all, and one of the things that it can do is just send the RTMP I don't know, data to any streaming platform and whatnot. So I was intrigued to what is going on in there. What is the format? How the streaming works in general. So I was just curious a little bit. I did not even wrote any line of code at that time, but it was just it was just piquing my curiosity. So sometimes it's how things goes for me. It's just like how does this thing is even working? So these days I'm very interested into WebRTC. So just take the software that we are using. So I worked. I was a co-founder for a short time at Remotely. Actually, Remotely is a tool that I even wanted to buy at some point. I was very, very close to acquire the SaaS.
Wait, Remotely, like the thing we're recording on?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, cool, that is exactly why we are using it. So I was I have a very, very long history with this tool. So for listeners, Remotely is like a Riverside, if you will, or Squadcast and things like that. Those tools that just record locally each participant, and you have a way to merge the combined sounds. We are just recording sounds in here, but we could use the video and whatnot. Long story short, WebRTC is also another thing that I'm very interested in too. So it's kind of crazy when you think about that. We can connect. So you are in Europe, Spain. I'm in Canada, and we could be multiple people in here and just be peer to peer at some point. So this protocol is very well done in my opinion, because it does not involve any servers to communicate from each other. So it's I don't know. It's just interesting. So that is something that I'm doing. I don't even know where I was going with that, and now I'm completely lost in my thought. But this is
started something with FFmpeg.
Yeah. Oh yeah. FFmpeg. So I was curious to do that. Streaming is something I would really like to do, but now I'm using this screen reader, so I don't know. I tried a couple of times to post on my YouTube channel with screen reader on and whatnot, but for some reason I don't really like the output. I don't know if it's my sound card or what, but the screen reader sounds terrible. It's already sound terrible in my headphones, but when recording my computer output audio, it's like it's barely tolerable. So yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure if you can split it up. Actually, maybe you could.
Yeah,
I don't know. I went down the rabbit hole of videos and formats when I did my course as well. So I only dipped my toes into what is possible. But yeah, you can do crazy stuff. But I'm not sure you can split it actually.
I don't
probably.
Know. I don't even know if but yeah, it's a totally different beast as well, because I would also need to find a way to have the comment being read, because if you're to do streaming at some point, I cannot read the comments. It's either I write code and try to concentrate on what I'm doing, or I look at the comment. So yeah, maybe streaming is just not really possible, or not really a good thing for me. But at some point, it was something that I enjoyed to do that.
Yeah, it's quite fun. it's quite fun. Once you get, for me, it was a big hurdle to get over the talking. I don't know, but it was really weird to get into like just talking about what you're doing.
Yeah.
For like hours and not sound like a robot. When I started my course back a couple of years ago, started recording, doing my first videos, I was like, yes, I'm gonna, because I kind of started out watching a lot of Wes Boss, is also a fellow Canadian, right? Who'd done a lot of courses. And I'm gonna sound like him. I'm gonna sound like the Primeagen is like, and then I recorded, and it just sounded like. Now I am doing creating. I was really sounding like a robot, so you needed to get over that hurdle of actually not sounding like a robot and still make it sound interesting, and also doing multiple things at once. So it's really fun. I think it's a really fun challenge to do both of those things at the same time. While also interacting with people and that whole thing. Right now, I'm doing a lot of Datastar at the moment, so also sometimes I have Delaney come into the chat. Delaney, the creator of Datastar, so it's always fun to like. But he's very technical, right? So he always asks. So I need to balance what I'm doing and also having technical talks with him. It's fun.
So he join you on your stream?
Sometimes he jumps into the chat. I'm trying to,
nice.
I'm trying to be a little bit more engaged in the Datastar Discord as well. They just released V1 last week, I believe. Okay. So now they are not in release candidate mode anymore. They are actually in version 1 of Datastar, and I love it. It's really made
it's great
doing UI stuff fun again. I can have everything on the back end, and it still feels like an SPA, but I'm using my Go framework and Doodle, right? So it's just built around all of these mental models. Everything is driven server side, but you update the UI and surgically update the UI, right? It's really cool. There's a sidestepping there, but streaming is fun, and it's also really cool to learn about all the formats. And there was a great article from the guys behind, like Aaron Francis and his previous co-founder, is that the right word? Partner, Steve Turo, maybe? I don't know if I get his last name correct, where they talked about how they actually serve like a lot of video for like $4 a month or something like that. It was like 4K video, a lot of gigabytes streamed, and they just use Cloudflare and then use the HLS format for streaming the video. So I did that, and I also used FFmpeg to split them up, right? So now I'm basically paying nothing per month to host my course, right? It's like 80 videos or something that just get streamed down in 1080. I'm also going on a tangent right now.
No, that's interesting. I'm not aware of this Cloudflare offering. So they do have a product or a service to stream video? Is that?
So my course on full stack Go development used to use Vimeo. No, not Vimeo. I can't remember the one of the providers where you can upload videos and then stream them. And then I saw this article where they basically break down how they use FFmpeg to break a video into segments using or convert it into HLS. You upload that to Cloudflare, and since you only pay for ingress, you don't pay for egress. It becomes
you don't pay
super
for
cheap.
egress.
No. They have some. I read about it a long time ago, and I can't remember why exactly, but they have so much redundant traffic outgoing. I can't remember exactly with how they do it, but you don't pay. You don't pay for stuff going out.
That is crazy.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a while. Like I think Aaron and Steve, they got a quote because Aaron talked about it on the podcast, mostly technical, I think, where he says like, I can't remember, it was like $10,000 or $20,000 per year or something. It was a huge number, right? And then Steve logged into it, and he was like, "Oh, we can use SLS and just use FFmpeg." And then Aaron have a huge video catalog, right? You record it in 4K, just multiple terabytes of data into Cloudflare, and then the bill got down to like $5 or $4 or whatever it was per month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that, and I was like, "Hey, should I build a competitor to the streaming services?" But then you have to deal with the content and monitoring, and there's lots of stuff that also goes on top of it, right? But it's I pay basically $0 right now per month to host the video.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you get the caching on top, right? So it's globally distributed.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, really, really, really cool product. Let's see how long it lasts, but hopefully it lasts. But it's a really good product. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm using DigitalOcean CDN for my video, all the videos for my courses. It's fairly cheap. It's like $5 per month as well. So, but yeah, there's a cap on the amount of downloads. But of course, it's not like I will reach that. But I was not aware of Cloudflare. Cloudflare is like very interesting in some point. There's so many things. The last thing I was interested in there was the mail routing feature that they have. So basically, you can point your MX record or something like that to there, and there's a way for you to reroute some emails and whatnot. So I was like, that is intriguing. What is exactly the use case? I was not really sure about that, but yeah, they seems to have a lot of really nice product.
Yeah, the email product just went into public beta, I think, not too long ago. So you can actually, so kind of like an SES competitor in a sense, or Amazon's simple email service. But I'm using SES right now, and I have never paid for email since I switched to that. I mean, I'm not sending 10,000 emails per month. At least not yet. Maybe at one point I will send a lot of emails, but it's incredibly cheap. But yeah, they did check it into public beta.
Yeah, that's intriguing. Yeah, I'm also using SES as well, especially with the product I'm building at the moment. Each tenant can if they enable the email marketing modules, they I basically create a config rules in SES. So each I was not even aware that it was possible to do that there, but you can kind of isolate if you will, domain name that are sending email. Otherwise, if you are getting too much let's say you have a couple of bad actors that are sending email, it would affect all the customers. So I was really appreciating this feature, to be frank. So now each tenant that enable this module is completely isolated from each other. So I was happy about that. It's so cheap. Also, it's so cheap. Yeah. SES is very cheap.
Yeah, it's a good product. I was looking into also when we talk Cloudflare. I was trying to get proxying working on deploy create, so that whenever a user creates a new application, I automatically create a staging and production environment for them and auto generate a domain for them, so they can like the path to success, or what is it, the happy path gets faster. I was trying to make that work, so I proxy everything through my main app into their server, which didn't really work yet. has some stuff to go through, but also I was basically trying to talk about their what's it called, the cert product from Cloudflare. That's also quite nice, where you can just go in and generate like a cert for 15 years, how long it is, and then send it along. I really like.
But
I really like.
Not sure I understood correctly. So you are saying that you're provisioning a domain name for a user?
Yeah, I kind of have two options, right? I can either just create a record pointing at the customer's domain, so they can use like my random. So there's like deploygrade.com, and then whatever random name in front of that, add a record. But at some point, I'm gonna run out of records, right? So I'm trying to have like a wildcard domain, so that it just hits that, and then I do some lookup logic on the server, and then forward it to the customer's server. And then they should have like an entry in their caddy config that matches that domain record, and then we load the application through that route. Yeah, and for that I was looking into generating like a cert on Cloudflare and having it in my caddy config, and then pass it along. I can't remember exactly what I wanted to say with this.
I was wondering if you were provisioning a full domain, because Cloudflare was something that I was looking for, but I was not able to have the domain name to be owned by the user. This is something I'm also looking for in my product. So a user could that do not own any domain could just register a domain in the tool. But yeah, turns out that if I'm using their API, there's no way to have the domain be owned by the user. It would all be in my account, so that's not working for me.
Yeah, I am considering doing like a Cloudflare integration, so it's through the user's account, and then they let me manage the DNS setting, which could also be a path forward, because the proxying is a little bit tricky when you want to. I don't want to open any more ports. I don't want to have like a secret port that I can just send traffic to on their customer service.
Well, not only that, but if I'm understanding correctly, so all of the traffic will go through your servers to be proxied to the customer server.
Yeah, but they will probably not. They will probably not create an application in production that has that wildcard, or that they will probably set up like myservice.com or whatever, and then they would have to create a record in whatever provider they use and point it at the server. So it was mainly how to take them from server to application to live product faster.
Yeah. Understand.
Yeah.
There's still some drilling at your place, I see. I hear.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, we lived here for 2 years almost in this apartment, and I don't think we have 1 week where they didn't do any construction work. It's right now they are fixing the elevator, and it's just like, and all the buildings in Barcelona here are super old. So it's like it's a really old elevator, and then we're working on it for like 2
maybe
weeks
it's better that they fix it then.
Yeah. Luckily we don't live that high up, so I always take the stairs. Okay. But there are some old people living here that probably needs it.
Cool.
Yeah. That's the life you choose when you live in Spain with thin walls in the apartments. You know your neighbors without actually talking to them.
Wow, that's cool. So any feedback? Have you got any feedback? Any discussion so far with potential users?
Not yet. I'm later today after this recording. I'm gonna do a product demo video, walking through what I have now and get that out. I have an open question to myself right now of how I want to deal with the operator. I install a small Go API on the server that I use to communicate with the servers with, and that is using just a token right now that it matches against. But the users have access to the server, so they could technically just go in, grab binary, grab the token, and then replicate whatever they want, right? Because it's just an open API spec. That might not be an issue. It might also be an issue, so I'm kind of debating before I start getting real users on, should I make it harder to misuse it, or should I not care about it? Maybe I shouldn't care about it for now. I don't really know. of locking down access, because I can never really fully lock down access to this version, since the user can just SSH and they can just transpile the binary, and I can make it hard. I can make it very hard, but I cannot make it.
So this key is just
down.
for your main service to communicate with multiple servers, right?
Yeah, so it's mainly it's generated per server, so that every server is kind of as secure as I can make it, and then for deploying an application, for restarting, creating it, for pulling metrics, pulling telemetry data, all of that stuff goes through the agent. So we install as little as possible on the customer servers, and the idea is to never lock people out of the servers, so that if they want to pay for the product, they get this API that has a lot more capabilities in terms of backups, in terms of deployment strategies, and all of those kind of things. And if they then want to cancel that subscription, my idea is to downgrade it to a less capable version that is then just open source. There's a community edition they can take and they can build on top of it if they want to. But then it would get downgraded to that version, and then they can only do one deployment strategy.
But if the key is unique per server, why would it be a problem if the user can access this key?
The problem is if they want to just create multiple servers themselves and take the agent, and it's just an API. There's nothing validating that the request is coming from a paid subscription. Is simply just a token to validate that the
okay. So the agent is doing some calls to the server. It's bidirectional.
Yeah, it goes both ways. So the server, my app communicates with the server through the agent, and the agent goes back again. So I don't do a lot of like SSHing into the customer servers, which might be okay as well. But the logic is again, going back to Go is really nice for a lot of these things, and operating on like a Linux server and doing things there is so nice with Go, and it makes it easier. It also makes it very easy to update the server version. So the API updates itself whenever there's a new release. Yeah. This might not even be a problem, and if people want to go through the process of taking this and replicating and building out their own dashboards, maybe they won't be customers in the first place.
Yeah.
So that is kind of a thing I need to figure out. But I'm gonna onboard a friend of mine this week, I believe, getting him on board, trying to get some more early testers on board.
Nice.
Have them try out the product, and then try to at least open for public signups and those kind of things. But it's getting to a place where like the core of what I want to do is stable. The release flows and the rollbacks and the managing and the updating, keeping the server up to date, monitoring the logs from the server services and the applications, and all of those things are in place right now. So it's getting there. I think I need to figure out what I want to do with the whole agent thing. Do I want to go down a route of making it really hard to quote unquote steal it? I don't really know yet.
Interesting. Yeah, depending your key could be tied to some kind of hardware, fingerprints and whatnot. So even if the binary or the keys would be moved to another server, it would not work or something like that. I don't know.
There could also be something on startup where it fingerprints it and send it back to the mains. I don't know.
You will need to ask
something
how this is called, the Mitos thing.
Yeah. Once they let us touch it, I can ask that. But again, I'm also debating whether or not my core audience, customer group, are the people who actually want, because I can't make it foolproof. If someone wants to monitor network activity, like there's nothing I can really do to lock it down, right? And if they want to go through the process, I probably can't stop them anyways. But do the target audience for this product actually, like if they want to use this type of product, do they even want to go through this process? I don't think so. Or at least I think it's highly unlikely that they want to go through that. Because if you can go through that, if you know how to go through all of those things, you probably don't want to use a service like this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Well,
I'm assuming
those questions you will need to have some answers at some point for sure. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's a thing I need to solve. But at least now I'm dog fooding it completely. So deploy crate is running deploy crate, and now I also need to get my other applications ported over to running on deploy crate, getting some testers on, and get some feedback, see what's happening.
Yeah, dog fooding. Well, this is I need to move myself out of my. I built myself a custom, quote unquote small course platform that I have that at the moment. I will need to move that to what I'm building at the moment, because I do have a course selling module in the app that I'm building. But I don't know, moving things around is I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy, and I'm hearing you talk about your project, and now I'm thinking about static backend, which I need to do a new release, but each time it's I don't know, it takes a long time, because I need to repackage all the client library, and now I need to fight, quote unquote, fight with NPM just to publish the TypeScript library. Go is so interesting. You just push and you put the tag there, and the documentation is updated, and everything is nice. People can just update their library. But now I'm kind of falling behind, and I fall into the trap where now I, quote unquote, vendored my dependencies, so my own backend libraries. I build it, and the SaaS that I'm building now, which is using the new version, which is on release now, vendored the dependencies. I don't really like this situation. I would need to take one full morning or whatnot, and just take the courage and just do a release. I'm semi regretting my choice of using my own backend as a service at this point, because it's so long to do a release, and now this thing needs to move fast, and I'm missing a little bit things here and there, but nothing crazy. But it's just that it kind of put some break into the development of the SaaS that I'm doing at the moment. I need to introduce multi-users in an account, but static backend does not allow you to, or at least the client library does not let you change a role for a user, and I need that. So a couple of small things like that, which feels not great sometimes, because I would need, and I cannot do one release per 2 weeks or things like that. Static backend is moving into a very, very slow pace. Like I was mostly doing release each 6 months, so the product is very, very slowly evolving. The goal was to follow the Go mentality of just being fully backward compatibles, and just there's not much to add to it. But turns out that even the smallest things can take a long time now. So I don't know. It's sometimes you think that you will win some times here and there, but it's difficult. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the product, the project, static backend. I'm talking. So I revived it because I wanted to use it. But to be frank, I don't even know that I have the energy or the time to market it because I'm also building this SaaS. So I should be focusing, 100% on the SaaS. This is what will bring me, any food on my table, if any, at some point. So yeah, it's pretty hard to juggle two, three projects at the same time. I think it's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds feasible, but then you get into it and it's like, okay, I need to focus on one thing and do that really, really nice. Do that really,
I was doing that, early when I was in my 20s, early 30s. Now I'm 45 and I don't know. It seems it's less fun than what it was. So now I'm just thinking, you know what? I should have, I could have just used worst case SQLite or maybe Postgres, but just, but it's too late now. It's so, but I think I was saying that maybe it was the last episode or the other. It's again, I'm in this place with this SaaS where until I have real paying customers, I'm trying to find, or I'm trying to, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to call that, but there's something that always make me want to change things, but I'm just at this stage where you know what, you just need 5 paying customers. We still have only the two real users, which are not paying because I needed some feedback, so kind of offered a couple of months free. But I need real feedback now. I need to have real paying customers, people that would go from the start of the funnel to having difficulties with the tool, or confirming that, okay, you know what, I was able to work. I wanted to send proposal. I'm now able to send proposal. I wanted to enable my email marketing module. Now everything is working. So this is why I am at the moment. This phase is not something I enjoy, and it's very dangerous for me. I think it's like that for a lot of people. This is where if I'm there for too long, I might start to, this is where I would kill a project sometimes because I'm just not able to get traction, and it's getting very, very, very hard to get any kind of commitment these days. I don't know if it's AI or whatnot. There's too many products that have been launched. I was believing it was going to be harder. Now that I'm, living it firsthand, I'm lucky that the product I'm building, we are targeting only, Quebec, small businesses, people that speak French. So it's a niche in itself. It's and since everything that is going on with the US, there's a very, very strong movement in Canada that we want to just buy locally. We want to find local companies, so that is a wave that I want to surf in or on or whatever. But it's so difficult. I mean, this is, I don't know. This is very hard. But again, I need to fight this urge to replace my backend as a service and just use SQL C with Postgres and whatnot. I mean, this would be crazy. But again, I need to find paying customers. This is what I should be doing almost exclusively now.
Yeah, I need the confidence of a 20-year-old something vibe coder.
Yeah,
I just, because that's like you see so many of those where they just like Yeah, they just press the magic button, throw something out there, and then let's see what happens. It's kind of the new way of building, at least in the public facing sense. But yeah, it's true. It's difficult with the marketing and cutting through.
Yeah,
the
and
noise,
I'm not building something super sexy at the moment. It's all right, and we are back. And I'm looking for a new co-host now because Morten is apparently quitting a lot of the episodes.
Someone would work in hardware.
Yeah, maybe it's your Pop OS. Let me finish that thought, and I will continue with Pop OS. So yeah, I'm not building anything sexy as well. So maybe it's also harder a little bit to get any kind of eyeballs on the product and whatnot, because at the end it's so but small businesses are still in need of those things, and I think I'm building something very, very nice and useful at the moment, especially with the email marketing module that I have. So again, we will see, but yeah, it's definitely something that is difficult. And now I'm exiting the comfortable phase of, you know what, you still need everyone, so you will be 80% building and 20% maybe researching or preparing for marketing and whatnot. And now it's the time to turn that, and being probably 90% of my time should be on trying to find paying customers. And for programmers, this is always, difficult and not natural and not what we want to do and things like that. But again, it needs to be done.
Yeah, marketing week is difficult. There was this guy who did a lot of bootstrap products who had created a tool that will just switch between building week and marketing week to force himself to do his marketing. Might be a way to go about it, to spend 1 week building, 1 week marketing. Yeah, but you also need a sellable product for that to really work.
That's what I'm still wanting to get a couple of maybe more real usage before I start to open the gate. I enjoy to have more hand holding at first, making sure that a new customer is, or at least that I'm finding what I hear about what they have difficulties with, and this is so helpful at the beginning, just to know exactly where is the blocker, what prevents them from getting to this aha moment of, oh wow, this is fixing my problem, this is working. So, but you still need to have trials and whatnot. Even the traffic on the website, it's harder than it was before, for sure. So I mean, yeah, it's not only trying to talk about it, but just. And I remember when I started at the beginning, when I launched my blog in 2002 or something like that, and back then you were putting something there. You were doing nothing, and there were traffic. That's it. That was it. If you were basically respecting the easy rules of having good H1, H2, and good content, it was just there, and you were having traffic. These days, this is. I'm not even sure people are still using a search engine anymore. So pretty hard.
I mean, I'm still using Google for stuff, but whenever I just basically just prompt a question into it once in a while, and it will do these AI overviews, but on steroids now, so you can actually chat with the research results. So I mean, you never really get past that, I think. I still see some traffic from, like, on my personal blog. There's still a decent amount of traffic from Google. I say decent. I mean, a couple of hundreds per week. So it's not anything crazy, right? But there's still coming some from Google. But I think you're right. The whole SEO game is different now. I still think it's relevant in the sense that the clankers will use Google to search for things, and maybe there you also still need to rank a bit. Maybe it's not exactly. They have this new term called, what's it called?
Geo.
Like yeah. Yeah.
So you put some JSON into a header of your pages and whatnot, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't looked at that. But I think that might be a problem for my audience. The AI or LLMs is touching a lot of people, and I think that there might be some small business owner that just search by the LLM now. I don't know. I don't know yet exactly.
No, but maybe also the strategy goes back to cold outreach is.
Oh yeah, totally.
Probably the switch in pace, and if you just don't do that with AI, you could probably
have better result.
Yeah,
totally.
No, but if you're like most people listen to the podcast, the developers, so they probably know the horrible what's it called, in message or inbound email, whatever on LinkedIn, where it's clearly AI generated, and you're just what are you doing?
I did something that I never do the other day. I received a cold email, and it was, moderately interesting that I replied.
Okay.
And I never got a response back. So I was like,
wow,
come on. Oh yeah, it was crazy. I was like, okay. Maybe you received too many responses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I followed a German guy who was living in Denmark who also have a cold email product service thingy, but they were sending at a scale of like 20, 30, 40,000 emails campaigns to, and they were sending so many emails. They were optimizing on the sign off, like they were testing if best regards or best or whatever at the end would optimize response rates, right? So it's also maybe a numbers game if you go down that route. I still think this day and age, like if you can see that it's actually a person who's written you that message and is relevant to your situation, I think you are much more likely of getting a response.
Totally. I will probably go with directly cold calling at first.
Yeah.
Because again, the small niche in Quebec, we speak French, so I think people might want to talk to other humans more and more these days.
Yeah.
So I will probably try that at some point, but it's something that I hate doing. I hate calling people.
It's rough. Like one of my first jobs in uni was like a phone salesperson.
Yeah.
I hated it. It was so horrible. Also because I was in Denmark. There's this company called Falk who does. They are basically the fire brigade in Denmark. They also have some ambulances, and they sell security stuff for the home. And most of the people you would be talking to was like elderly people. And I could never sell to them because I was being like, hey, what do you need? Blah blah blah. I was trying to do the, what's it called, figuring out if they had a problem, and if they didn't, I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. And then I had my trainer being like, you need to push that person. I'm like, I'm not gonna push this 80-year-old lady to buy a bunch of, I don't know, Band-Aids or some shit like that. Like, what are you on about? But yeah, you really need to be. It's a different game if you want to be good at cold calling.
Yeah, but I will call small businesses. So first, I mainly want to hear about their problem. So I might not even talk much about the solution that I'm offering. I don't even know exactly yet. Maybe I will try one or two call, It will certainly not be it will be 1 or 2 per week because I cannot really do much in that. To be honest, it's just to test the water a little bit.
I've been reading some books on selling to try and up my game, and one of them was really helpful in the mindset that you could adopt, which was you're the expert in your area. So if you target people who has a problem in the area that you're an expert in, then the whole conversation revolves around solving a problem for them.
Totally.
And that becomes less salesy, sleazy, what people are afraid of sounding because they think they have to be like Jordan Belfort, which they probably don't do.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a salesman or a salesperson, so I don't really know if this is true. But the reasoning makes sense that I'm an expert in this, and I'm calling you because you might have a problem. Okay, you have a problem. Let's explore the problem you have, and if my product solves your problem, then that could be a path forward, right? Because there's also something around risk mitigation. People would probably rather not buy and not make a mistake than they would take a chance and be hugely successful, right? So they will probably optimize for not making a mistake versus optimizing for like a home run once in a while. Is that makes sense?
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking to B2B, right? So some person doesn't want to risk their career on buying a product that takes down the entire company. So trying to minimize risk for them in the conversation is probably also a very good approach, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. But yeah, that is what I like about what I'm doing at the moment. I will talk with very, very either solopreneur or very small company. So probably the owner, and I have this booking module as well. So and it's true. You have Calendly, you have a couple of even Google is doing that now, but mine is cheap and you can create multiple booking pages. I mean, there is value. I think I created enough value, and I'm confident that the product is very interesting for a small business. Mm-hmm. But again, this is only in my head at the moment, or maybe a limited amount of people that I've talked about it. So it's not with the 2 users that we are having that. And I say we because this is my wife that brought those people. So I did not even brought anyone yet myself. So
no.
I need to start doing that to be clear. But again, this is so boring and I hate it. Yeah. And Pop OS, man, I started to when we hung up last time, we talked a little bit about text editor and screen reader and whatnot, and I started to search about Pop OS and accessibility and whatnot, and I discovered that they seems to have made a very decent investment in the last year and whatnot. So they seems to have their Cosmic desktop environment that you were talking. It seems to be working now with the Orca, the screen reader. So nice. I'm fairly tempted to try it.
Definitely, I think you should give it a go. Do you have a NVIDIA GPU?
No, it's an Intel on board. It's
all right.
Yeah,
because they do have some issue with. I can't remember if it's memory leaks, but there's still some minor issues around when you run this on NVIDIA GPUs that it will simply just freeze and require a restart. But I have not heard anything about that for quote unquote regular GPUs. So you should be fine if you are.
Oh yeah. I think it's the internal video card. So I'm not. I don't need a video card basically. I don't even need a screen. So yeah, I think I will be fine there. But the only thing that I was blocking about is that they built on Ubuntu 24. So we are. It seems to be very old already. Even though I think they prefer to use Flatpak and whatnot or Snap the other thing. But yeah, it seems like they are probably soon to update something. So I'm not sure if I should wait a couple of months, because it seems like I don't know, man. Ubuntu 24 very old already.
Yeah, I think they actually, the way they approached the development of Cosmic was to be like, it's done when it's done. But they should be following the Ubuntu release cycle, so there'll probably come something out soon for, what is it, Ubuntu 25 or 26 that is?
There's one 2604, which that's what I'm saying. Maybe I should wait for May or maybe June, or probably May. I think they might they might be soon to release something. So because I'm not sure about the upgrade path. So if I were to install today, will it be easy to go to the next version? Have you done an upgrade so far?
Yeah, that was because I was on Cosmic from alpha, one of the first alpha releases they did, and the upgrade has been smooth.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you go on Reddit, there's always someone complaining about it, saying the issue. But for my, especially if you start now on the current version of Cosmic, you literally just go in and update the system as you would regularly update the system, and you should get the latest release.
Nice.
So they have this Cosmic store where it's just like an app store kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you can just update and that should get you the new version. So super smooth from my point of view, and I have it both on my desktop, which has an NVIDIA GPU, and then on my laptop, which just have an AMD integrated GPU graphic card, and both have been fine. With no real issues, except for the memory leaking on the GPU. But
for me it's mainly audio related. If I'm to boot my machine at some point and there's no audio, I just cannot use my machine. So that is a huge problem. But yeah, audio seems to have been a long way in Linux, and I don't know. There is something. And we keep talking about that, but it's still growing. It's growing. People are leaving Windows. It's really, really nice to see. And I want to contribute to the Orca project if I can. So I know that there's not much developers that are maintaining this. So I think it could be a good opportunity for me to just try and contribute to to something that I need, and I would love to contribute.
Yeah. I think it's really. I think Cosmic combines a lot of the nice things about Linux. You have somewhat stability. I mean, it's a huge, complete rewrite of everything they did right in Rust to get Cosmic up and running. But you have workspaces. You have screen, what's it called? Tiling window manager.
Yeah.
You can toggle per workspace. I used to have problems with Bluetooth and sound back before they released Cosmic, and I have had Bluetooth. I've actually been working really, really good on Cosmic, which is really, really nice. I connect my headset, no issue. So it's super smooth. Really nice desktop, and like I also have Omachi installed, which is also amazing. But it's just Cosmic feels a little more stable, and you don't need to fiddle, and you can just focus on getting some stuff done.
Yeah, I'm eager to return to Linux. Like I was saying, I was using i3 with Arch Linux before. After that, because at some point my Arch completely broke. I could not even do anything with the system, so I installed Debian. So I was still using i3 and Debian. Unfortunately, i3 isn't accessible. I opened an issue in 2017 wanting to try and help, and yeah, unfortunately, it's still open.
Nice.
Yeah, there's not much to do there. But i3 was something that I was really, really enjoying, to be frank. It was the way that I wanted to work. So hopefully the tiling manager of Cosmic will allow me to have kind of a tab way, because when I'm using the tile, I'm not tiling side by side. I just want my screen to always be maximized and just really have a quick way to switch. So I think it should be able to do that. I think I've saw the tab mode or something like that. Might not be called like that, but it was called like that in i3. So
yeah,
I will see.
I mean, also it's super configurable. So I basically have Vim motions for my windows. So I have like the super key, and then I can switch around, move around, size, like make it bigger, make it smaller.
Nice.
Move it around using Vim motions. So they did a really good job with that product. And I think with DHH pushing Omachi, he also got Dell just released a new laptop. They revived the XPS with a chipset that should be compatible, competitive with the M5 chips called Panda Lake that has full support for Omachi. So I guess if they have some, like if Arch Linux runs on it, probably Cosmic will run as well. Yeah, so we are seeing a huge influx to Linux, I think, and the OS is getting really, really good.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Cool. On that, I will maybe try it and maybe report that on our next talk. Maybe. We'll see.
Will be interesting to hear. Year of the Linux desktop, it's 2026.
But I was there. I was there way before. But yeah. I need to return now.
Yeah. Cool, man.
All right. Have a good week.
You too. Bye-bye.